Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And today we got episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again titled 6 Semper System. Now at the end and once again, as I've been doing for this entire episode review series, is that this will be completely spoiler free. No spoilers will be explained about the show. I'll give a little hints to it, but I will not go into full detail in case you have not watched it, or if you're just one of those people just waiting for the full show to be released and then just binge all of it. So like I said, all these will be spoiler free, including this one. So at the end of the last episode, we followed Matt in court trying to get the man White Tiger in that episode, and he tried to get him out of legal trouble after supposedly killing an officer when he really didn't. And so that's what we mostly followed in episode 3. But then at the end of that episode, a certain character died, and now we are following the aftermath of that. Again, I will not reveal who that person was, and I will not be spoiling it. So what we got in this episode is that, like I said, we are following the death of that certain character in this, to where Matt is trying to pretty much figure out how that person died. He's trying to find some leads, he's trying to find some hints of what could possibly caused his death or whatever, possibly whatever it could have been that would have got him killed and all that. So we kind of follow that, and we kind of follow his character a little bit more. We also don't get a lot of action in this episode like we did last week. It was more about the characters, it was more about character development, more about character growth, and I've been really enjoying that about the show so far. That's what the show has mainly been for the first 4 episodes. We'll see what it is next week when we get episodes 5 and 6. So what I've been getting is that we're mostly getting the character growth in this series so far. Now, a lot of people might not like that. Most fans might be wanting the action, all the fight choreography, all that awesome stuff in the original show. But so far, I've been really enjoying that. I really like that they've been doing that. I'm glad they kind of try to focus on that a little bit more instead of just awesome action sequences. After the showrunner said that the original series at its lowest was pretty much that, but they've been doing pretty good in this show so far. I really have been enjoying that, and kind of going back to last week of what I said, I'm not really sure how to feel about the whole Fisk and Vanessa thing going on. There's this whole thing to where she had an affair with someone, and they've been doing couples counseling and stuff like that pretty much to try and save their marriage after Fisk left. I don't know where he left. I have not seen Hawkeye or Echo. I didn't hear great things about him, so I never bothered to check him out, but I did know he was in those shows. And we kind of follow that. And I will admit, I'm not fully interested in it yet, but we are kind of going up the pillar of to where I am getting more interested in it. There is a scene in this episode to where I thought that was really cool and how they executed it, or I was like, okay, this is kind of getting my intrigue and all that. And we're kind of getting that old Wilson Fisk again, that kingpin the kingpin side of him again. That because what we've been getting these last like 2 or 3 episodes now is we're kind of slowly getting that old Fisk again, to where he's mayor at this point, and in this episode, this something goes wrong, and he's getting upset about it. He's trying to uh, deliver on his promises when he ran for mayor, and he wants to deliver on the promises that he ensured that he would do, and he's kind of struggling with that a little bit. He's kind of going through all this where it's not going right. People are calling him a fraud. People don't fully believe in him because of his past, which it's kind of weighing a lot on him, and it's kind of stressing him out a little bit. And the stuff also going on with the Vanessa and stuff like that is kind of weighing on him. And I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying what they're doing with Fisk in this show so far, because he is one of the greatest MCU villains in my mind. Since he is technically MCU canon now, I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying what they're doing with him. And not only are we getting hints of old Fisk again, but we're also getting old hints of Matthew becoming Daredevil again, because still, at this point, we have not seen him don the Daredevil outfit again yet after someone close to him passes away, and he decides not to wear the outfit anymore. And so, the last year, he has not worn the outfit, but in this episode, we get that small hint that he is trying to go back. Because after a certain death at the end of last episode, and no one really cared to solve it, and he doesn't know what's going on, he decides that maybe it's time he goes back to Daredevil. Maybe it's time that he puts on that outfit one more time and tries to solve this mystery himself, and tries to stop and confront the person that did that. I've been really enjoying that. It's awesome to see that. It's going to be awesome to see him in that outfit one more time, especially what we got in that first episode, in the first 15 minutes of that. That was amazing. I cannot wait to see that in the future of this show, which I know is just going to be awesome. And another character that we're getting teased about more and more is the character of Muse. Now, he is one of the more popular Daredevil characters. I have not personally read any Daredevil comics. I've not read any of the Frank Miller runs or whatever that I heard was really good. But one of the villains I heard was really good, and one of the better ones was Muse. And he's getting teased a lot in this show. And the guy that's in the Wednesday show, he's set to play him, and we got a little bit of a tease, I believe, in the second episode, and we got another big tease of him in this episode in the beginning and towards the end of the show. And I'm really intrigued to see what they'll do with him. I'm really excited to see what they'll do with him because what I hear about his character sounds creepy and awesome in my mind. So I'm really excited to see how they'll adapt him in this show and in the MCU. But again, it was nothing really major, but again, I won't spoil it. But we do get a little bit of a tease in him, and and he looks awesome. I'm really excited to see what they'll do with him again. Not again. I'm really excited to see what they'll end up doing with him. So that is something I'm really intrigued with this show. That is something I've been really intrigued so far ever since they announced it. And speaking of announcements, in this episode, we finally got the return of John Brolin as the Punisher, aka Frank. Now, whenever they announced that he was going to be part of this show, I was so excited because I love what John has been doing with this character of the Punisher. I do think the guy that played the Punisher in the 2004 movie is good as well, but John does such a better job with this character because you could tell he really loves him. And at one point, before the show got the creative overhaul, he refused to be part of this show because he hated what the writers and the showrunners were doing with the character. He wanted no part of it because they weren't doing him right. But then the creative overhaul happened and he got brought back, and I was so excited to see that. And we all knew he was going to come back. It was more of a matter of when it was going to happen. And thankfully, it happened in this episode. It wasn't nothing big. We don't see him in full outfit or anything like that, but what we get is something that I was really excited to see in the MCU because they did it perfectly in the Netflix series, and that is the little character conflict and the bickering between Matthew and the Punisher and Frank. Because that is one of the best scenes ever in comic book series and the MCU in general, where in season 2 and they're sitting on the rooftop talking about justice and how killing people is the wrong way of doing it, and putting them in jail to give them a second chance is a better way, but Frank believes putting them in the ground is the better way. That sequence in season 2 of Daredevil is one of my all-time favorite comic book scenes of all time, one of my favorite character conflicts ever, and one of those character dynamics in my mind. And we get a little bit of a tease in this because they have the same thing, because the second Frank comes back and him and Matt start arguing about that, and it is seriously one of the best scenes about this show so far. It might even be my favorite part about the show so far, but yet again, we're only 5 episodes in right now. That was everything I was hoping for, and everything I was really hoping that Marvel would end up doing with these characters, because that, again, one of the best parts of the original Daredevil series, and I'm glad they're doing it here again. I'm excited to see what they'll do with that. And it was just a great moment because like Frank is trying to get Matt, like, try to get the devil out of him to an extent to where, like, he's talked to him. It's just like, oh, but he passed away, and you're letting the man that did it just sit in jail and just breathe the same air as you, and you're okay with that? He should be rotting in the ground. He's trying to push him to his limits because he knew this would happen, because, like, he lost his friend, and he's trying to push him to be like him in a way, and he want and Frank thinks he only came there to ask for permission of something. We don't He kind of alludes to it a little bit, but like, that scene was just awesome, and that was everything that I was hoping that they would do in this show. And I am so excited to see those two team up once again when we got the behind the scenes photos of those guys. Like, I cannot freaking wait for that. I'm a huge Punisher fan. He's getting his own Marvel's presentation next year on Disney Plus, which I'm over the roof excited for because I loved his Netflix series as well. It's just cool to see Frank come back into the MCU and just see him have that little character dynamic with Matt in this episode as well. I cannot wait for the future episodes with those two, and I cannot wait to see what they'll do. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it was pretty good. There are some moments where I was like, okay, it's moving a bit slow. We already kind of did this, especially with stuff with Fisk. I was a little mixed on, but a lot of his stuff going on I really enjoyed as well. I really enjoyed episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. I really enjoyed it, and this continues to have have my expectations through the roof for the next few weeks of this show. But let me know what you guys thought about episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again down in the comments below. And what have you guys been thinking about the show so far? Have you been liking it? Have you not been liking it? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe with the bell notifications so you will get notified for all my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.